Olivier. À regarder et faire sacrifice.
I'm sorry I'm late, Frank.
You've nearly missed all the first half.
Haven't you heard the news? Everybody's been talking about it on the bus.
What? What news?
Evening News, Evening Standard. Thank you, Governor. Evening News, Evening Standard.
Thank you very much.
Evening News, Evening Standard. Thank you, Governor. Evening News, Evening Standard. Evening News. Thank you, Governor. Evening News.
I'm sorry,
But Rupert, you're not a soldier. You won't have to fight.
we shall all have to fight.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Frank?
At midnight on August the 14th, Britain declared war on Germany. Lord Kitchener has been appointed Secretary of War and is appealing to all British men to join up. Thousands have so far answered his call, queuing up outside the recruiting offices, eager to serve their country. It is believed that the war will be over by Christmas.
How are you, Wilfred? Good trip? I was a bit ill on the road.
Mother's got stewed lamb for dinner. How long are you home for this time?
Depends on the war. If it ends quickly, I might go back to France.
You still have a job out there?
I don't see why not. Monsieur Owen, the English teacher, is in great demand.
I'm sent off for the papers.
You a soldier?
Oh, why not?
Funny thing is, it was always me who wanted to play soldier. Wouldn't have me now if I paid them. Not with this.
How is your chest? Mother was worried the damp would get to you in France.
I keep telling you can't get damp in that part of France.
My name is Rupert Brooke. I'm 27 years old. I was educated at Rugby and King's College, Cambridge. I played cricket and football for the school and was a cadet officer in the Corps. I've traveled America, the South Seas. I've had some works of poetry published. The central purpose of my life, the aim and the end of it now, is to get good at beating Germans. Now, God be thanked who has matched us with his hour, and caught our youth, wakened us from sleeping, with hand made sure, clear eye, and sharpened power, to turn as swimmers into cleanness leaping. Glad from a world grown old and cold and weary, leave the sick hearts that honor could not move, and half men, and their dirty songs and dreary, and all the little emptiness of love.
Has Mother seen you in your uniform yet?
I thought you'd at least pretend to be proud and pleased, but oh, worry, worry, fuss, fuss. Anyway, she'll always have you.
No, she won't.
What do you mean?
Listen, I've been to see a doctor. Apparently there's an operation I can have him on.
An operation?
I want to fight, Harold. I'll do anything.
Heavy fighting continues across Europe. On the Eastern Front, Russia is fighting back the Germans. On the Western Front, in the northeast of France, warfare has reached new and terrible proportions. Heavy shell and gunfire is killing thousands of soldiers. After the first few months of this war, British losses alone total more than 86,000 men.
We ate our breakfast lying on our backs because the shells were screeching overhead. I bet a rasher to a loaf of bread that All United would beat Halifax when Jimmy Stainthorpe played full back instead of Bully Bradford. Ginger raised his head and cussed. I took the bet and dropped back. Dead. We ate our breakfast lying on our backs because the shells were screeching overhead.
Thy dead men shall live. Together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust. For thy dew is as of the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead.
They're not coming back, though, are they? They're just being sent out to die. Thousands of them, tens of thousands of them. God, this isn't war, this isn't honourable. This is cold-blooded, blooded slaughter! Get off! You lost your Eric, Mrs. Pearson. You think it did anybody one scrap of good, him dying? Of course not!
I'd,
Go on, just carry on, it doesn't matter! You're all murderers!
I'd like to read you a sonnet written by one of our brave soldiers who's stationed at the front. A young man called Rupert Brooke. If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. There shall be in that rich earth a richer dust concealed.
A dust whom England bore, shaped, made aware. Gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam. A body of England's breathing English air, washed by the rivers, blessed by the sons of home. And think this heart all evil shed away, a pulse in the eternal mind no less, give somewhere back the thoughts by England given. Her sights and sounds dream happy as her day, and laughter learnt of friends and gentleness, in hearts at peace under an English heaven.
To enlist, let us pledge. I hereby pledge myself most solemnly to persuade every man I know to offer his services to country. I also pledge myself never to be seen in public with any man who has refused to respond to his country's call. Any woman seen walking out with a man not in uniform is a traitor to her king, her country, her God, and her sex. And so, ladies, finally, ladies, I introduce you to The white feather. The sign of a coward. The sign of a traitor.
I'm not cross with you being late, Annie, only
I can't see you anymore, Frank.
What are you talking about? I'm not a coward, Annie. I'm not a coward. You pull a trigger, a man's dead.
A German's
A
dead.
bloke, same as me. Somebody's sweetheart, husband. Somebody's dad. I can't make you understand, can I? The Red Cross is different, Annie, that's the point. I won't be carrying a gun, just stretchers. I won't have to kill anyone, I'll be helping the wounded. Helping the wounded.
They'll still be shooting at you, Frank.
I'm not afraid, Annie. That's what I've been trying to tell you all along. I just couldn't be a killer.
I'm scared, Frank. I've heard the stretcher bearers get the worst of it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I'm scared for you, Frank.
I thought you wanted me to join up. I thought that's what you wanted. I don't expect it'll be too bad. I know how to duck. Here. You look after this for me. I'll only lose it.
At one point, I nearly broke down and let myself drown in the mud. The platoon to my left were blown to nothing. In my own platoon, only one lad caught the blast, and I'm afraid he was blinded. The following day, the mud had frozen, and there was a deadly wind. One of my party froze to death. Hideous landscapes, vile noises, everything unnatural, broken, blasted. The distortion of the dead, whose unburyable bodies sit outside the dugouts all day, all night. The most execrable sights on earth. In poetry, we call them the most glorious.
Your orders for tomorrow, sir.
At dawn, the ridge emerges massed and dun in wild purple of the glowering sun, smouldering through spouts of drifting smoke that shroud the menacing scarred slope. And one by one, tanks creep and topple forward to the wire. The barrage roars and lifts. Then, clumsily bowed with bombs and guns and shovels and battle gear, men jostle and climb to meet the bristling fire. Lines of grey, muttering faces, masked with fear. They leave their trenches going over the top, while time ticks blank and busy on their wrists, and hope, with furtive eyes and grappling fists, flounders in mud.
Jesus, make it stop!
Anyway, Annie, keep him well, and like I said, I know how to duck, so they won't get me.
Mr. Owen?
Sister said it would be all right.
Come in.
Sorry for... the nurse said it was... Are you really Siegfried Sassoon, the poet? No, I mean, yes, of course you are. Chances of there being two chaps with a name. Not that it's not. I wonder, would you sign my book?
Of course. Do sit down.
Thank you.
Oh, whom should I...
Wilfred Owen, sir. 2nd Manchester's.
Wounded?
Trench fever, sir. Should be heading back before long. You took one in the chest, didn't you, sir?
Not really the reason why I'm here, though. Do you want to go back? No. Useless at home, but out there, pointless, wretched sacrifice and suffering for the cant and vanity of politicians. That's why I'm here. Tried to publish a letter or two explaining the war's no longer any use and we should pack it in. Some of my friends put it about that I'd gone mad, shell shock and so on. Thought I'd rather be put away in a sanatorium for a while rather than put in prison for treason. And do you play golf?
No, sir.
Hunt?
No, sir.
Well, what exactly do you do?
I write poems, sir.
Bring some to show me.
Gas! Gas! Quick, boys! Gas!
Bent double, like old beggars onto sacks. Knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot. All went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas! Gas! Quick, boys! An ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone still was yelling out and stumbling and floundering like a man in fire or lime. Dim, through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea, I saw him drowning. In all my dreams, before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch the white eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face like a devil sick of sin, if you could hear at every jolt the blood come gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory the old lie, dulce et decorum est, pro patria mori. It is sweet and glorious to die for one's country. That's somebody's watch.
You didn't want to go.
I did. Once. It's against the rules, that. Sitting down on the job.
I know.
I'll send me back there as soon as I'm better.
Oh, you'll be all right. It'll all be over soon.
It's what they said in 1914.
No, it's true this time. Haven't you heard? The Yanks are coming.
Earlier this year, America declared war on Germany. American troops are now arriving in France. After 3 years of fierce fighting, fresh troops are much needed. On the Western Front, the deadlock continues. It seems that this war will never end.
Keep yourselves down. Doing very well, my boy. Move up when you can. Keep low. Forward down there. Right, sir. Keep going. Doing very well, my boy. Move up when you can and keep low. Fire down. Forward down there. Right, sir. Let's go, Louis, down!
It seemed that out of battle I escaped, down some profound dull tunnel, long since scooped through granites which titanic wars had groined. Yet also there encumbered sleepers groaned, too fast in thought or death to be bestirred. Then, as I probed them, one sprang up and stared with piteous expression in fixed eyes, lifting distressful hands as if to bless. And by his smile, I knew that sullen hall. By his dead smile, I knew we stood in hell. With 1,000 pains that vision's face was grained, yet no blood reached there from the upper ground, and no guns thumped, or down the flues made moan. Strange friend, I said, here is no cause to mourn. None, said that other, save the undone years. I am the enemy you killed, my friend. I knew you in this dark, for so you frowned yesterday through me as you jabbed and killed. I parried, but my hands were loath and cold. Let us sleep now.
At 11 o'clock on the 11th of November, the guns fell silent. Germany has finally surrendered the war. 65 million people from 32 countries have fought, 8 million people have died, and another 21 million have been left wounded. Many feel that Britain has lost the best of an entire generation of her young men.
Perhaps